All right, people, I'm back. So as you can see, I got me a tripod, and I guess you can see my face. I don't know. We'll find out now, won't we? Yeah. So basically, let me go ahead and hold it up if you guys still can't see my face. Um, Probably try a new camera technique. Let's see. You see, I'm testing it out because I got me a new tripod and I want to make sure it works. So, there. So, let's go ahead and talk about part two of how to break into Hollywood. Now, to break into Hollywood, you need to do what they call internships. Now, internships, as you must understand, is basically a internship is like a nice way of getting your foot in the door and showcasing your talent, your skills, what you're good at. Most of the time, most people usually do this for fun and entertainment, but I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't do it because it's fun and entertainment. You should be looking at it as an opportunity to get into Hollywood. If you want television, there's television internships, there's broadcasting, there's radio internships, there's film internships. There's a lot of internships when you're in college. There's credit and then there's non-credit. Now let's talk about what's the difference between getting into the industry and internships. Now with internships, they usually require some level of college experience, maybe 2 to 3 years, maybe 5 years if necessary. And sometimes you're going to be asked, do you have your own camera? Do you have a tripod? Do you have an SD card? Do you have a laptop? These are things that I think people, a lot of times, they don't ask themselves. And I'll be right back because I don't think y'all can see my face 100% clearly. So I'm going to have to change the scenery. And yeah, we're going into the dark. Sorry about that, people. All right, this is, see if I can, damn it. I hate when you don't have no place to put your new camera and it's dark and shit. I know a lot of y'all like, damn, Alex, well, where the damn light at? All right, so I'm gonna have to improvise. So bear with me, please, please bear with me. I'll be right back. I apologize for the darkness. I know it's not October, but I'll be right back. You can see this ain't gonna work. Well, we'll just have to. Hell, this damn thing don't ever work. Get your ass on here. All right, people. I guess I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way in Hollywood. I'll have to. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I apologize. It's not exactly easy, but now you can see my face better clearly. I was trying to stand up, but I was afraid you wouldn't see my whole entire body frame and my whole entire face, and you'd be like, who the hell I'm talking to? So, forget that other half that you saw. I was trying to find a way to sit down and do this, so I figured it'd be much easier if I do it like this. I would do it in the bedroom, but, room fucked up, and y'all be like, damn, Alex, room fucked up. Like, at least fix your room, dog. Shit, bitches and hoes don't want to see that shit. Sorry, YouTube. Apologize for the profanity language. Now back to the video of the discussion. You might want to take a look into internships. And you might want to read the description on what happens when you try to apply for an internship. Because a lot of them going to ask you, do you have your own camera? Do you have a tripod? Do you have SD cards? Do you have a laptop? And you'd be like, what the hell? Why I gotta bring a camera for an internship? I thought y'all have all the camera film equipment. And they do, but a lot of times when you go for an internship, that's like one step away from getting a real job. A lot of times they're gonna require 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. Hell, there's some that even make you do 40 hours. And there's part-time and then there's full-time internships. And you get a nice crash course in what goes on in the film industry. You get to see how producers run the show. You get to see how directors showcase their talent of filmmaking. You see cameramen. You see the audio engineer. You see the makeup artist, the storyboard artist, the editor. You see the actors, the actresses, depending on which studio that you're working at. Now, Warner Brothers have internships, Sony Pictures, 20th Century Fox, Paramount Pictures, they all have internships for television and film. And you shouldn't wait until the last minute to do it, because if you do, 9 times out of 10, what happens is people have a tendency to wait until the middle of the year, and then they get like anywhere between 100 to like almost 300 people filling this stuff out on the internet, and then by the time you do an internship or try to apply to one, it's too little too late. It goes like that real quick. MTV has internships. The E Network, Hollywood E Network has an internship. Channel 7 ESPN Sports has an internship. They also require you to have a high GPA. A 2.0 is acceptable, but a lot of them want you to have a 3.0, a 4.0. You got to be a college graduate. You got to graduate from college. Either you're on your way to graduating or you already graduated. Because a lot of these internships, about 80% of the time, they're full-time. Some will pay you $12 an hour and some will not pay you. It depends what you apply for. Now that I explained the internship, now what's the difference between that and you trying to break in the industry? If you're trying to become a film director, you might have to pass all your math and English and graduate with a bachelor's degree if you're trying to become a film producer or a film director. If you go to college and you take a film class, there's this one class called GRIP. And they say as of right now, you can get a job in Hollywood on a television crew production or a film production just by doing GRIP. Now, most people want to be film producers, film directors, screenwriters, makeup artists, cameramen, but all those jobs require bachelor's degrees or some kind of college degree, right? But GRIP doesn't require no college degree. It just requires some level of experience, that you know what you're doing, and you get hired ASP. It's just like trying to be in the rap, in the music industry. A lot of people want to be rappers. A lot of people want to be singers and dancers. But if they find out you can be a songwriter, you get hired ASP. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you're going to try to freelance, you have to buy at least 2 to 3 tripods. Because what if the first one gets broken? Or what if the tripod you got is too big or too small? So you might want to buy 2 or 3 tripods. If you got a camera on your cell phone, that gives you a very big advantage on your competitors. But sometimes when people want to use the camera on their cell phone, a lot of times what happens is they say, well, just in case, get an emergency camera. Because what if your cell phone needs to charge to 100%? Well, you might have to film a basketball game or a football game live, and all of a sudden your camera is now on low battery, and you can no longer charge your cell phone while the game's live, and then you lose money and you can get fired potentially if you're trying to film on your cell phone camera. Now they do allow it at some companies, but most companies prefer if you have at least 2 to 3 cameras on you. A high digital Sony Pictures camera or a Canon camera or a Nokia camera or some good brands. Stay away from the ones that you don't recognize, because a lot of times you might buy a camera from off of Amazon.com. You know, you might get a good offer for about $15, maybe $30, $40 or something like that. And then what happens is you get the camera 3 days later or 4 days later from Amazon, and it charges good. It turns on and off. It charges, but it doesn't take any pictures and it doesn't film. So now you just wasted $40 on a camera that doesn't really work. Also be careful about trying to get cameras from your best friend. Like if your friend gives you a standard definition camera and you take it and it don't have no SD card or no charger, you're going to end up buying a completely new camera just because it don't have a charger. It's like buying a cell phone. How many times your cell phone gets broken and you got to replace your cell phone charger, but before you can get the cell phone charger, they make you buy a completely new cell phone because they're not going to sell that same cell phone charger for the current phone, because they're all about what? Money, right? So you might want to be careful taking a camera from your best friend or your family member, because they may have good intentions, but that's all it is. It's just good intentions. I'm not trying to hurt no one's feelings. I'm just trying to tell you, if you're going to do something correct, there's a right way to do something. There's a wrong way to do something. When you get a tripod and you got a camera on your cell phone, make sure you buy something for your cell phone that connects to your tripod. That way you don't find yourself in the worst possible condition, which is you got a tripod, but you got no place to put your cell phone. You get something to hold your cell phone that connects to the tripod, so that way when you film, you get perfect picture, you get perfect sound. You know how the camera was moving like about 15 minutes ago? That was because I was trying to either decide if I want to sit down in the chair or if I want to sit down in the bed. So basically, this is part 2 of how to break into Hollywood. Yes, you might want to go on the internet and do some research. You might want to look at filmla.com. I know a lot of people complain that when they go to the park or they go to public places, they want to film at nighttime, and a lot of times the police come out and ask you, do you got a film license? And a lot of people be like, film permit, what's that? A lot of the schools tell you to just film on college campus, like UCLA College, USC, Los Angeles City College, Santa Monica, El Camino, West LA. Those are all colleges that you could film your movie or documentary on college campus. That's where you're protected. Unfortunately, when you decide to go off of college grounds and on to the real world and off of school grounds and into the streets of public area, now you need a film permit. You don't want to get arrested by the police and then explain to mommy and daddy, well, I'm trying to be John Singleton, or I'm trying to be Steven Spielberg or George Lucas, because I didn't know that I had to pay $200 to $300 for a film permit. Because film permits are going to cost money. They're not cheap. They're very expensive. And a lot of times you have to go on the internet and call 7 to 8 different places to find out how much a film permit costs. There's one for the city. If you want to film in the city, then you need a permit just to film in the city. If you want to film in the state of California or in the state of New York, then you would have to get 2 film permits. Then what happens if you decide you work for Warner Brothers and they want you to do a movie or a documentary in London, England? Well, now you're going to have to buy you a passport, get your birth certificate, your driver's license, your California ID, or whatever city and state that you live in, and you'll probably have to go get you a third film permit. So ultimately, you might end up getting 4 film permits because you might have to go to multiple locations. You can't always stay in the same city and same state to do all your movies and television shows. Sometimes it's going to require a huge level of travel. You might have to travel 5,000, 10,000, or 15,000 miles away from home to do a movie or a television show or a documentary. And sometimes you might have to watch other directors like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas to get a good idea and a good feel on how easy and how difficult it is to be a filmmaker. So basically, I hope this was a big help to you. I apologize for the beginning of the video. So if the video goes dark by complete accident, that was because I was trying to decide, do I want to sit down right here or do I want to sit down in the bed? I want to make sure you can see my face and hear my voice loud and clearly. I get a lot of complaints behind the scenes that they want the camera to stand still, and I have a new tripod and I have something to hold my cell phone so you can see my face and hear my voice. And hopefully this is not too long or too short. I hope this was very helpful. Yes, this is a YouTube video, not a movie, not a documentary. So I hope you enjoy part 2 of how to break into Hollywood.